Hello everybody, welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. And after all of that intrigue and everything that I was talking about, it actually was pretty one-sided for a long time. And it finished Manchester City 3, Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. That's how it's finished. And when you look back on that game, I think there were a few things that we've got to talk about. The scoreline suggests that it's a weird game because the scoreline will suggest it was only 3 goals. It wasn't. It was much more than that. But actually, when you look back in that game, I think there's a lot of positives that United get. It feels hard to say it, and it feels crazy to say, but I think there's a lot of positives to take from that game for Manchester United. As if you are a United fan, there's a lot of positives to take from that game. But there's also a lot of things that I almost feel at times there are a few small things. It was just it felt like City were devastating, and I think we'll talk about that as well, how devastating City are. But there were points of bad luck as of United. I mean, that first the thing that I'll talk about, and I think this will get lost in the translation. That Dalot yellow card in the second minute, in effect, that really helped City a lot to get those 4 goals because first of all, that is a foul. If that was Cancelo or if that was Gundogan, that wouldn't be a yellow card. Let's just be honest here and say this. I'm a United fan, call me biased. That would not have been a yellow card for any City player. It was a yellow card for Dalot because Oliver was trying to do whatever, like he was trying to lay down a marker or whatever. That wasn't a yellow card. That really wasn't. But giving that yellow card, it made, of course, Dalot not completely kill Dalot's adventure because now he's got to be focusing on not getting a second yellow. So he can't be as adventurous, he can't be as tenacious as he needs to be. It means Antony has got to track back, which he's not doing. He wasn't tracking back and helping his fullback. McTominay wasn't doing it. It completely outsynced. It meant that Grealish could do what he could do. Grealish's only biggest asset is the fact that he can draw fouls. So he's just going to run past and Dalot cannot really foul him. So for me that was a big killer blow right at the start. There was a big killer blow. But that first goal, I said it as well when we were talking to Gaurav yesterday. I said the key is if United concede the first goal, they will build mentally. Are they mentally strong to come back or to be able to stop City? And we started it, they're not. After conceding that first goal, it just completely killed. United just wilted. Like it was just. I mean, it was a soft goal to concede, to be honest. And actually, if you look back at that play, Jadon Sancho lost the ball in a potential counter-attacking opportunity. As City had played a short pass. I think it was Gundogan who played the short pass, actually, or maybe Gundogan won it back. But somebody played a short pass. Sancho wins it, right? And he's got 2 players in front of him. And I don't know what happens. He just doesn't do anything. He just loses the ball again. City go forward, simple cut through pass, and it's a goal for Foden. And you just felt like that's such a bad goal to concede. The second goal was again bad luck for United because Varane, actually, it should not have been a corner. Again, it should not have been a corner because the play should have been stopped. Varane was down for a very long time. I think City had about 3 or 4 chances in that play before the ball went out. Again, it's poor refereeing. Like you've got to at some point, if the play is down for that long, you've got to at some point go, no, we've got to stop the play. I saw this yesterday, by the way, for those who are saying saltiness. Again, I saw this yesterday at Serie A, where in the Inter-Roma game, the ref actually did it. It was a counter-attack on for the Inter, and he stopped the play. I think it was maybe Inter-Roma, whoever, somebody player was on, he stopped the play because they said, no, they've got to stop the play because he's been down for so long. And you've got to do that. As a ref, you've got to do that. If a team has had 3 chances and you're still letting them attack while the other player is down, it's silly. But anyway, in the corner, United was shot by a man. Again, you can't really do much about that. Haaland, you lose height as well. The worst player to lose in a corner situation is Rafael Varane because United don't have height on corners and he's one of the few tall players. So it was 2-0. Haaland was a good header, by the way. It was a fantastic header. Not much that Malaysia could have done. It's 2-0, and at that point, it's game over, really. New game over. It was game over. Varane was kind of clocked. The third goal comes with a counter. Really bad defending for the third and fourth goals. I think third and fourth goal was United just losing their heads. That was just them like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And they kind of just panicked. And the panic led to the third and fourth goals. And at 3 and 4-0, you're just like, that's it, it's game over. Both very good goals, by the way, third and fourth. I mean, Haaland with a nice little tap-in finish was very good finish there. And then Foden, of course, on the fourth was also a nice little finish there. It was good moves. De Bruyne really played a very good pass to Haaland for that fourth goal. And then it's a nice cross back. Haaland actually got 2 assists today. I mean, to go with his 3 goals, he got 2 assists. So that's something as well that people were pointing out that he doesn't do much other than score goals. He does. He gets goals for others as well. And it's 4-0. And it's game over, really. At that point, it's game over. But the thing is, if United showed a little bit more composure in the first half and their passing, some of the passing was really bad. I mean, anybody would notice it. Passing. I mean, Rashford sold Malaysia down the river, got him booked. McTominay played a couple of horrendous passes. One of them, straight to Grealish. I mean, I don't even know what he was doing. And Eriksen was bad as well. I think Eriksen really got overplayed in the international break. This is the issue with international breaks. You play games and you look very good in the international break, comes here, he comes tired, and this is a big intensity game. Manchester City is a massively high intensity game to play after playing so much, and he was tired. I was surprised he played the full 90, but I think that means he's probably not going to start against Simone. I think that's the thing. But yeah, it was just it was tough to watch. He was not able to make tackles. I think Eriksen in games like this will be a bit of a liability. I think if Bruno's off color, if McTominay or Cancelo is off color, then I think Eriksen becomes a bit of a liability because he can't really do a lot of the physical work that's needed in terms of tackling, in terms of when he can't really do it. He tries, but he can't really do it at that intensity. So that is a problem to consider. But nonetheless, 4-0 City game over. Second half. The second half was really much about City just staying back and having just playing it cool, playing it easy. And then they conceded a goal and made it 4-1. And that was a good goal by Antony, by the way. It was a really good goal. And you suddenly thought, okay, what's going to happen here? And I think City might have tacitly said, Guardiola might have said, look, keep it to 4-0. Just see the game out. I don't want anything going. Just see the game out. 4-0, that's it. We don't need to do anything more. And then they scored. And then Pep Guardiola just went, you know what? How dare these guys score against us? Get me a couple more. Get me a couple more. And then and Haaland got his hat-trick. And Foden got his hat-trick. And it's 6-1 suddenly. And you think, oh my God, why did Antony score that goal? Why did he score that goal? It was 6-1. Again, I mean, it was bad defending, I think, again, for both of those goals, for the 5-1 and 6-1. It's just wide open. But at that point, I think the United defense had kind of just given up. They were like, yeah, whatever, we can't really do anything. Shaw playing Foden on side as well for that 6th goal. To me, that's the problem. I mean, Malacia had a good start. He didn't have a good game today. Shaw had an okay, he was okay. But I mean, the fact is, he didn't have a lot of defending to do because, or attacking to do because City had pretty much pull the shutters down or whatever. The little bit that he had to do, he failed on that. So for me, that's an issue as well. I mean, we need another competitive left back. But anyway, at 6-1, you're thinking, oh my God. Actually, it could have been 5-2 actually, because I think right at 5-1, Sancho had a really good opportunity to make it 5-2. He decided to take it with his feet. I don't know why, when he could have just headed it. And it would have been, and he probably could have beaten Ederson, could have been 5-2, might have, again, done something there. When 6-1, and Martial, and Shaw surprises everyone by keeping the ball in when everybody thought it was going to go out, he keeps the ball in. So he does the bad part on the defense, but he does a very good job on the attacking side. And it comes in and it's 6-2, and then it's 6-3 at the end. There, a little bit of respectability. But what to me those two goals showed, and you know what? Throughout the game, whenever United had the ball, they looked good. They looked good when they had time on the ball. They looked good. They didn't have a lot of time on the ball, by the way. City were very, very good in the first half. In the second half, they were a little bit, casual, which happens when you're 4-0 up, 6-1 up. You get casual, and City were casual. So United had a little bit of time to play the game. They looked okay when they did that. The moments when they did genuinely have City under a little bit of pressure. And that is what it is, right? And I think if he's given, the question is now, I think there are question marks with a lot of players. And we'll start on with the United ones. I think Rashford, for me, today, I think Sancho was abysmal. I've got to say Sancho was very bad, really abysmal today. I know it will get lost in a lot of the other players, but I thought Sancho was abysmal. He was probably, it's hard to say this, but he was one of the worst players on the pitch because it just, for Sancho, it almost looks like, he needs everything to go his way. He doesn't seem like the kind of player who can make things happen. He seems like the kind of player who needs players around him to support him. And it doesn't work in a game like this. That was pretty bad. Rashford, I mean, like I said it, with those that front three, you got Rashford, Sancho, and Antony. They're not going to trouble Akanji, Ake, and those guys. They're not going to trouble the City defense because you've got no focal point. And especially in the second half, you really felt that United were lacking a focal point like a Haaland. They were lacking that. They were really lacking that, and they need that. And that is something that they will have to do, address in January or next summer. If they want to push on, that's going to be the next step, is to find somebody who can be a focal point target man, because what a difference that makes. And we'll talk about that coming up. But that was a problem for them. And I think Rashford, for me, if Rashford is going to be a starter for United, it's got to be on the left wing. The thing is, because Sancho doesn't really blows hot and cold all the time, I think he might be able to do something there on that left wing, Rashford. But Martial, I think, because got 2 goals today, so hopefully he'll, for Martial, the problem is the injuries, right? If he stays fit, he might have a shot at finally becoming the player that United fans had hoped he would become. But his injury questions always there. McTominay, for me, see, the thing is, a lot of people will say Casemiro should have started and why McTominay started. The thing is, McTominay did okay. Like, he was fine. I mean, he came on, he was playing very well. I praised him as well on this channel. I've said he's done very well, and he has. He deserved to start today. You cannot take that away from him by saying, well, he didn't have a good game today, why did he start? The reality is, he played well in the last few games. That includes games against Liverpool and Arsenal. So he's got to start. Like, you have to back the player and go, yes, he's going to start. The thing is, he played badly today, and I think we've now found out that he's probably not at the level that is needed. So now Casemiro is going to get his opportunity, and he can now make that position his own. But you've got to back a player who's done well. You can't you can't, if you go back to picking players on reputation, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? We talk about not picking players on reputation, we talk about not picking players on price tags. Yet if it's our favorite player, we're okay with it, and if it's not, then we hate it. That's not going to work, right? I think McTominay had a bad game, and now he's got to sit on the bench, and Casemiro's got a chance now to do it. But I think it was justified to start him. But I think we've now seen there are limitations to his game. I do think this game shows that he has serious limitations. I don't know if he can overcome them. I thought he could after the last 2-3 games. I thought maybe he can, but I don't think he can anymore. I think that that's something there. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I think Cancelo now deserves a goal. The disaster is Varane's injury. Now, I don't know how serious it is. I'm hoping it was just a precaution that he's taken off. He's not going to play against Ammonia. Maybe he'll be back soon. But if he's out, that really is the disaster. More than the result, I think that is the disaster for them that they've lost Varane. Because without him, Martinez also looks a lesser defender. He needs Varane next to him. I don't think Lindelof or Maguire are ever going to protect him the way that Varane does. And so, that's a problem as well to pick up. But, the thing is, the thing that I can see is that with a couple of additions, at least in the first team, they can get maybe an upgrade in midfield and maybe an upgrade in the attacking positions. There's something there for a top 4 challenge next season. There's something there. If Liverpool and Chelsea weren't so bad, we probably wouldn't even be talking about United being a top 4 contenders. The only reason they are is because Liverpool and Chelsea have been so bad, and even Spurs have been so lackluster. That's why they are where they are. But anyway, that's what Manchester United. We'll probably do more post-mortem later on as well. Maybe we'll think about it in the day. But talking about Manchester City, and this is something, City's problem. I don't think the answers in defense have been sorted yet. I still feel they're a bit defensively vulnerable, and they were today. They were missing Rodri, by the way. They were missing, so that's a mitigating factor. But if you look at our defense, I think there are issues there. The thing that they have to is Erling Haaland. He's what they call a cheat code, right? He's a cheat code in that, and then he can just score 2 goals in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's it, game over, right? You score, suddenly, you're 0-0, you're thinking you got something, the Haaland comes up, scores 2 goals, it's over. It's all game over. And that is what City have. And that is why I think they will win. They will win whatever they want to win, they can win everything this season. They can do what Liverpool couldn't do last season. They'll do the quadruple, because that's all they need. They just need a Haaland to step up, score 2 goals. That's it, right? 20 minutes, game over. That's all they need. And then, because it doesn't matter if your defense concedes 3, if you can score 6. And that, like we saw today, they won't always concede 3 and they won't always score 6. But with Haaland, they will always score 2 or 3. They will always look good to score 2 or 3. They won't always do it. We saw that against Villa, they won't. But they will always look like they can score 2 or 3 goals a game. And so then it's down to defense. If they can keep them down to 1-2 goals a game, that's all they need. So that for me is the big thing with Haaland. I mean, he's just phenomenal. I mean, you run out of superlatives. And I've run out of superlatives to describe him. I just said, but I was impressed with Foden as well today. The Foden really played well. And I remember, I always keep saying this. I watched him when he was 16 years old in a preseason game against United, and I thought that kid was special. Please, City, screw him up, because he's a special talent. City have not screwed him up. And he's really turned out to be a fantastic player. Still a bit raw, still things that he can work on. But I think he's getting there to the point now to being a consistent performer. I think he's getting to that level. And then that's all that you can ask for a player. So fantastic. Grealish did really well as well today. I think this was a sort of game that suited Grealish, especially once Dalot went on that yellow card early. I think it suited Grealish, because Grealish's whole game is around dribbling and winning fouls and all that. And as soon as Dalot went on a yellow card, he had the dribble. He had the dribble advantage over Dalot. He could do that. And then he could just cut inside because Dalot couldn't tackle him. So he was helped by a poor refereeing decision. He was helped, but he made the most of it, and he looked good as well. And hopefully this will give him the confidence as well to carry on and become the player that City hoped that he would be. So a lot of positives for City to take, a couple of positives for United to take. There's something there that I mean, and call me crazy. I mean, I might be delusional, and maybe we'll know by next week. Maybe they'll have lost the next 2 games, and we'll be back to complaining and crying. But for now, there's some things there for United maybe to build on. Maybe this was a step too far. I think City are a step too far. Arsenal is something. Liverpool is something. Our City is just a step too far. They're the best team in the world right now, and United are not at that level. I think that's just obvious. But maybe something there to build on. I mean, and what it also shows is the fact that Arsenal are doing so well to be top of the league when City had such great form. I mean, yeah, like I said, that's why I always say City will walk the league. I think post-World Cup, City will walk the league. Once this whole thing is over, and right now we're in a very strange phase, but I think once that's over, I think City will walk the league by the end of the season. The only thing we can hope for is that Arsenal will keep pace as long as they can. But yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, do smash a like for City, smash a like for Haaland, smash a like for Foden. Haaland man of the match. I think, yeah, it's pretty obvious he's the man of the match. If Foden got a hat trick, I would have given it to Foden if Haaland hadn't got those 2 assists. But because he got those 2 assists, you've got to give it to Haaland. So smash a like for Haaland, but smash a like for Foden as well. Smash a like for Manchester City as well. And do share your comments. I know this is a bit longer than I normally do, but so many things to talk about because it's such a big game. Do share your comments as well on the game and what you thought. I mean, bad day for United, but that's how it is. That's how it goes. That's just what it is. But do share your thoughts, of course. Always love to hear from you. And do remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. We're gonna do a couple more videos today. So when you subscribe, you do get notified as videos drop. And of course, we appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.